All right, welcome back. I obviously should not be handling any technology because our connectivity was bad, so we are going to film this briefly and then we'll post it a little bit later. And we're going to wrap up our talk here about not just everything we've been talking about this past weekend, but we've been talking about books before we dropped out. My good friend Drew Gruber, who's behind the camera and refuses to be on the camera, had a great suggestion that we should have known. Of course, John Simcoe wrote a book about the Queens Rangers, and that's something you can still get today. Very much available. Great insight into the Queens Rangers. Primary source material too, which is perfect for research, and it's a good read too as well. So, Kevin, did you talk about your favorite book recommendation?
No, not yet. We hadn't gotten to that. Phil had sort of taken mine with Burke Davis's, but book I was interested in getting into is more. It's a biography, of course. Now I can't think of the name of the author, at least who wrote it. But going back to Great Bridge, I'd done some research or looked into Charles Fordyce of the 14th Regiment of Foot. Just an interesting guy. It's a new biography that came out just a couple of years ago about him. But basically, I mean, the thing that drew me to him was everything that I had seen written about Great Bridge, which isn't all that much, is just the mention of a Lieutenant Fordyce, and then you don't even know his first name. And so looking into him and the story at Great Bridge a bit more, just trying to find out some of the facts about that story a little bit. So no one book, I guess, that I can suggest.
Billy.
Yeah, this trip down to Virginia, it's just made me grow even more interested into nothing we saw this weekend, but rather Benedict Arnold down here in Virginia.
He's always got that, yeah.
No, because a lot of that, it plays a big role. And what happens is it's one of the first major, British forces that return here to Virginia since 1775 after Great Bridge. And because of that, the Virginians and their political leaders, military leaders are really caught off guard. They don't expect the war to come back down here right on their front doorstep, and it does, and they're not prepared for it. They really have no response until Washington sends Lafayette down here to deal with Arnold, and if possible, capture him. Bring him back up to New York City so he could be, dealt with as a traitor. So I'm definitely going to be looking for a little more reading on Virginia in end of 1780 into early 1781 before the Yorktown campaign. And then after that, maybe I'll head over to Yorktown.
Well, there are a couple good books that just came out by some friends of ours. Mike Cecilia wrote a book about Virginia in 1781. Road to Yorktown by John Moss, who's also a friend of ours.
That today.
That book covers Lafayette's moving around, von Steuben's moving around, covers Green Spring, covers Spencer's Ordinary. So those are two good books that you can pick up.
And another good book that just recently was released, and we're going to actually be able to have the author give us a little talk, is Peter Henrique's new book on George Washington, First and Always, which I'm actually reading at the moment, and it's a fantastic book. It's not just Yorktown centric, but it kind of gets into some of that with the whole. It kind of focuses on all sorts of different aspects of Washington's life and personality. So it's a fascinating book. But you'll be hearing a little bit more about that in the weeks to come.
Yeah, so that's a good segue into what we're doing next week. So this is our 30th, which is crazy to think about. We started this in April on the anniversary of Lexington and Concord, because we're all shut in, and we figured we would give some content to people who were at home. And now we just keep doing it, and Mark has been complaining that it's becoming more like work. And if you know Mark Malloy, that does not sit well with Mark.
Especially on weekends.
Especially on weekends. But anyway, so we do think it's important to provide the content. We have a good time doing it. So what do we got next week?
Next week we got actually some friends who we haven't talked to yet, but we're interested in kind of hearing their view. They're doing something similar. They're called Sons of History. They're based more out of Texas, but they kind of do a lot of the same kind of stuff we do, going around to different battlefields, different historic sites, talking stuff. So we're going to do a little chat next week about with them, about kind of what they're doing, kind of find out what they're doing, how it's different than what we do the same, and just hopefully grow each other, help each other out, and talk a little bit about public history and the importance of preserving, keeping these sites, and learning from them.
So in the big announcement that we were going to announce at the end of our live video, which is not live, but next November we are working on a bus tour on the 10 crucial days, Trenton to Princeton. We're looking at November 12th through the 14th. We will have more details up on our website. Hopefully by December, we will have tickets for sale. Right now, looking at around $150 per person. It's going to include an all-day tour on Saturday of Trenton, Washington's Crossing. Actually, you should talk about this because you're the one. Mark Malloy will be leading the tour for us.
So this kind of came out, we kind of do, Emerging Revolution War does these trips, annual trips so far, going to different battlefield sites, learning from the sites, talking to the subject matter experts, etc. And it was trying to find some way that we can bring this experience to a broader audience. So if you're sitting at home and you're watching this and it looks like fun and you want to have fun too, we wanted to have an opportunity to do that. So what we're talking about doing is, I wrote a book with Emerging Revolutionary War about battles of Trenton and Princeton. So we're coming together and we're gonna have what we're looking at doing is like a Friday night book talk, so I can kind of give you an overview of the campaign. Saturday morning we'll go up to Washington's Crossing. We'll see where Washington crossed the Delaware River. We'll spend the morning there. We'll have lunch. We'll see some graves of American patriots who are buried there. Then we'll go down to Trenton, spend the afternoon in Trenton talking about the Battle of Trenton. We'll be talking about the Second Battle of Trenton and the momentous decision to go towards Princeton. That night, we'll go back to Princeton, and then on Sunday morning, we'll do the Battle of Princeton on the battlefield, and then let everybody head out on their own after the tour of the Princeton battlefield. So if this is something that you're interested in, something you like seeing, something you want to know about, definitely keep an eye out, because we're hoping to get into the realm of taking people around to the places, because like I say, when you read our books, we tell you where the places are. Sometimes it's not as fun if you don't have guy to tell you what you're looking at, and a cigar and a beer with you. So.
Beer and cigars are not required.
Here.
Just for the tour guide. No, but I think it's going to be a great time. Like I said, that's Veterans Day weekend, so hopefully if people are around.
It's a great way to remember, veterans of the Revolutionary War.
We'll have a block of rooms, a hotel there in Trenton, actually in Princeton.
Yeah.
And I think it'll be fun. It'll be good to get people out. We all love giving tours. That's what we do for a living. That's what we do for fun on the side. So I think it's a good way. And we figured Trenton and Princeton is such an important campaign, and Mark's been nudging to do this thing, so we figured we'd give Trenton and Princeton the first dibs. So.
And the idea is, hopefully, we'd like to build up. We're coming up on major anniversaries of all these battles. We're getting prepared for the 250th anniversary of the Revolutionary War. If that's something you're interested in, definitely let us know, because we'll reach out to you and we'll keep you updated as far as how this is progressing.
So that's going to close us out tonight. We're here at Billsburg. Just behind you in the dark is Jamestown Island, which is a great site if you ever get a chance to visit. We didn't get a chance to go there today or this weekend, but we've all been there. And it's a great place to go. But this is a great brewery right here along the river here with Jamestown Island behind us, Jamestown Settlement on the other side, and of course the Green Spring Battlefield off to my left. We've created a YouTube page where all these Sunday night chats are now on the YouTube page, so check those out. We're going to be turning them into podcasts as well, which we think would be a great way for you.
Yeah, we were listening to some in the van coming
to
down
here.
Yeah,
so
Mark listening to himself talk.
Mark was listening to himself talk, which is not unusual. It was Mark and surround sound. But we'll be back next Sunday night at 7 o'clock for our ERW Revelry. And also tomorrow we're going back to Yorktown. We're going to the American Revolutionary War Museum at Yorktown. We'll do some videos there. We're going to do some videos from the battlefield, unfinished readout, maybe the monument there on the battlefield. So we're here again tomorrow. So if you're at work and you want to watch some good history, tune in. If not, we'll see you next Sunday night. So thank you. And thank you guys.
Thank you.